Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly forgotten why you were there? Or found yourself struggling to recall a name you've known for years? Don't worry, you're not alone. In fact, I've had those moments myself. But here's the good news. Just like we keep our bodies moving to stay strong, our brains thrive when we give them the right kind of exercise. And today we're going to talk about how to keep that brilliant mind of yours sharp, curious, and ageless, no matter what the calendar says. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue to create great content to inform and inspire you. Now let's get started. You've probably heard that you can't teach an old animal new tricks. Well, let me tell you, that's one saying we need to toss right out the window. Science shows our brains are far more adaptable than we ever imagined, even as we age. It's called neuroplasticity, a fancy word that simply means your brain can grow, change, and rewire itself at any stage of life. But here's the catch. It doesn't happen on its own. We have to invite that growth. And how do we do that? By staying curious, staying engaged, and never letting that spark of learning dim. Let's start with something simple but powerful. Embrace new hobbies. Now, I'm not saying you need to climb Mount Everest or learn quantum physics, unless that's your thing, of course. It's about finding small, joyful ways to challenge your brain. Think back to when you were younger. Maybe you loved painting, gardening, or tinkering with gadgets. Or perhaps there's something you've always wanted to try but never had the time for. Retirement, empty nests, or quieter schedules can be the perfect opportunity to dust off those dreams. Take my friend Margaret, for example. At 68, she decided to learn how to play the ukulele, something she'd never touched before. At first, her fingers fumbled, and the chords sounded, well, let's just say, unique. But within a few months, she was playing her favorite old tunes, joining a local music group, and even writing her own songs. That's the magic of trying something new. It wakes up parts of your brain that have been snoozing. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Gardening, cooking a new recipe, even tackling a crossword puzzle. These are all little adventures for your mind. Now, the second habit is one we often overlook as we get older. Ask questions. Lots of them. When was the last time you let yourself wonder, how does that work? Or, why is that true? Curiosity isn't just for kids, you know. It's the fuel that keeps our brains hungry and alive. My grandson once asked me why the sky changes color at sunset. Instead of brushing it off, I said, let's find out together. We looked it up, watched videos, and even painted our own sunset masterpieces. By the end, I'd learned something new, and so had he. The key is to let go of the idea that you need to know it all by now. None of us do. The world is full of mysteries, and every question you ask strengthens those neural connections. Next time you're watching a documentary, reading the news, or even chatting with a friend, lean into that curiosity. Wonder aloud. Dig deeper. Your brain will thank you for it. Finally, and this one's a game changer, learn alongside others. We humans are social creatures, and learning doesn't have to be a solo journey. Join a book club, take a community college class, or even start a weekly coffee and trivia group with friends. When you share ideas and discuss them, you're not just absorbing information, you're processing it, challenging it, and making it stick. Plus, laughter and connection are like vitamins for the soul and the brain. My neighbor Frank, at 72, joined a local history club. Every Tuesday, they meet at the library to explore different eras, watch documentaries, and debate theories. Frank says it's made him feel like a student again, energized, engaged, and excited to learn. And guess what? His memory's sharper than ever. That's the power of combining curiosity with community. Now, these are just the first steps on the journey. But imagine waking up each day with a sense of wonder, thinking, what will I discover today? Whether it's picking up a new hobby, asking bold questions, or learning side by side with others, you're not just preserving your brain, you're giving it a whole new lease on life. And trust me, this is only the beginning. You know, after we chatted last time, I received so many wonderful messages from folks just like you. People who've started painting again, joined trivia nights, or even signed up for dance classes. One gentleman, Tom, wrote to say he'd finally taken up bird watching, and now he's the go-to bird guru in his neighborhood. But here's what Tom reminded me. Keeping our brains young isn't just about curiosity or community. It's also about how we care for our bodies. Because believe it or not, your brain is listening to every step you take. Let's talk about Move Your Body to Spark Your Mind. Now, I'm not suggesting you train for a marathon unless that's your dream. But simple, regular movement is like a love letter to your brain. When you walk, dance, or even garden, you're pumping oxygen-rich blood to those gray cells, helping them grow stronger connections. Scientists call it neurogenesis, basically growing new brain cells. And yes, it can happen after 60. Take my cousin Elaine. At 67, she swore she wasn't the exercise type. But her grandkids talked her into trying a beginner's yoga class. At first, she giggled her way through the poses, said she felt like a pretzel. But within weeks, she noticed something amazing. Not only did her joints feel better, but she could remember names faster, and even started writing poetry again, something she hadn't done in decades. It's like the fog lifted, she told me. And all she did was stretch and breathe for 20 minutes a day. You don't need a fancy gym membership. A brisk walk around the block, Tai Chi in the park, or swaying to your favorite oldies while washing dishes, it all counts. The goal is to get your heart rate up just enough to make you feel alive. And if you can pair it with nature, even better. Studies show that spending time outdoors sharpens focus and boosts mood. So put on those walking shoes, invite a friend, and let your brain soak up the benefits. Now let's shift gears for a moment, because while moving your body is crucial, there's another habit that's just as important, and it involves slowing down. I'm talking about embrace the power of quiet. In our noisy, fast-paced world, giving your brain moments of calm isn't just relaxing. It's essential for keeping your mind sharp. Think of your brain like a computer. If you never shut it down, it overheats. Stress, worry, and constant busyness can fog up your thinking and even shrink the parts of your brain responsible for memory. But here's the good news. You don't need to meditate for hours on a mountaintop. Start small. When you wake up, take 3 deep breaths before getting out of bed. Or sit with your coffee and just listen to the birds, the wind, the hum of the fridge, whatever's around you. Let your thoughts drift by like clouds. My friend Rita calls this her daily brain reset. She's 74, and runs a bustling household with grandkids popping in constantly. But every afternoon, she sits in her cozy corner, a chair by the window, for 10 minutes of quiet. Sometimes she journals. Sometimes she just watches the squirrels. She says it's like hitting a refresh button for her mind. And science backs her up. Regular moments of calm can improve memory, lower anxiety, and even help you solve problems more creatively. Now, let's tackle something that might make a few of you raise an eyebrow. Play with technology. Yes, really. I know. Apps, social media. At my age? Trust me, I've heard it all. But think of technology as a new kind of playground for your brain. Learning to navigate a smartphone, video chat with grandkids, or even play a brain training game isn't just keeping up. It's building new neural pathways. Take my brother-in-law, Carl. At 70, he insisted he was too old for gadgets. But when his granddaughter moved overseas, he decided to learn Zoom. Was it smooth sailing? Nope. He accidentally muted himself for an entire call once, thought the computer was broken. But now, he's a pro. He takes online photography courses, follows virtual museum tours, and even texts memes to the family group chat. His motto? If I can fix a carburetor in 1975, I can figure out TikTok. And you know what? He's right. You don't have to become a tech whiz overnight. Start with one thing. Ask a grandkid to show you how to send a photo, or download a puzzle app and play for 5 minutes a day. Every time you troubleshoot a new feature or master a skill, you're giving your brain a workout and proving that age is no match for curiosity. Now, I'll let you in on a secret. None of these habits work in isolation. Moving your body fuels your energy to learn. Quiet moments, clear space for creativity. And embracing technology keeps you connected to a world of ideas. It's all connected, just like the amazing network of cells in your brain. Remember Frank, the history buff from last time? Well, he's now the one organizing virtual tours for his club, mixing tech with his love of learning. And Rita, she pairs her quiet time with morning walks. That's the beauty of this journey. Every small step you take ripples outward, touching every part of your life. And the best part? We're just getting started. There's something magical about the smell of fresh bread, isn't there? It reminds me of my grandmother, how she'd hum old tunes while kneading dough, telling stories about her childhood. Stories like hers aren't just memories. They're proof that our brains are wired to create, to share, and to keep evolving. And that brings us to our final habits for nurturing an ageless mind. Habits that turn everyday moments into brain-boosting adventures. Let's start with lifelong learning. No classroom required. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm done with homework. But lifelong learning isn't about grades or deadlines. It's about feeding your brain with ideas that excite you. And guess what? The world is your classroom now. Ever wanted to study ancient Rome? There's a free online course for that. Curious about astronomy? Libraries loan telescopes? Or maybe you'd rather learn hands-on, like my friend Joanne, who at 71 decided to master sourdough baking. She calls her starter Yeasty Boys and jokes that it's her most high-maintenance relationship. Joanne's not just making bread. She's studying fermentation, experimenting with flavors, and even teaching virtual classes. Her brain's firing on all cylinders because she's engaged. And that's the secret. Find something that makes you lean forward, not back. It could be genealogy, birdhouse building, or finally understanding how your smartphone camera works. The subject doesn't matter. It's the act of learning that keeps your mind nimble. Now, this next habit is one we've all practiced, but maybe haven't fully embraced as brain medicine. Tell your story. Whether it's writing in a journal, recording voice memos, or sharing tales with your grandkids, storytelling isn't just preserving memories, it's exercising them. When you recount experiences, you're strengthening the neural pathways that hold those memories. Plus, reflecting on your life helps you see patterns, lessons, and even hidden strengths. Take my neighbor, Helen. At 80, she started writing short stories about her years as a dance instructor in the 1960s. At first, she worried she'd forget details, but the more she wrote, the more vivid her memories became. Now, she's compiling her stories into a memoir. It's like time traveling, she told me. And every time she shares a chapter with her writing group, she gets inspired by their stories too. That's the double win. You exercise your brain and connect with others. And here's my favorite part. You don't need to be a wordsmith. Sing a song you wrote. Sketch a memory. Even organize old photos into albums with little captions. The act of shaping your experiences into something tangible is like a workout for your creativity and your recall. Who knows? You might discover a hidden talent, or at least give your family a priceless gift. Now let's step outside for a moment, because the last habit isn't just about your brain, it's about your spirit. Celebrate small wins. We live in a world that often measures success by big, flashy achievements. But after 60, every tiny victory counts. Finished a crossword without cheating? Victory. Learned to send a text with emojis? Victory. Remembered where you left your keys on the first try? Throw yourself a parade. My buddy Sam, at 75, keeps a win jar on his kitchen counter. Every time he tries something new, even if he fails, he writes it on a slip of paper and drops it in. Last year, his jar held 243 wins. Some were silly. Googled how to fix a leaky faucet. Others profound. Called my old friend after 20 years. On tough days, he reads those slips and remembers, I'm still growing. That's the mindset we're after. Progress, not perfection. So, let's tie this all together. Keeping your brain ageless isn't about doing more. It's about being more. More curious, more playful, more willing to stumble and laugh and try again. It's about learning to salsa dance at 65, writing bad poetry at 70, or finally understanding how Wi-Fi works at 80. Every time you choose curiosity over complacency, you're telling your brain, you matter, you're alive, and you've got so much more to do. Now, I'd love to hear your story. What's one small win you've celebrated lately? A new hobby, a rekindled passion, or a moment of quiet triumph? Drop it in the comments below. Let's inspire each other. And if this video resonated with you, give it a thumbs up to let me know you're here with me, and share it with a friend who might need a little boost today. Oh, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. We've got so much more to explore together, and I'd hate for you to miss what's coming next. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember, your brain is a garden. Water it with curiosity, nourish it with joy, and watch what blooms. Here's to every question you ask, every step you take, and every story you've yet to tell. The best is still ahead.